Okay, is that okay?
Hey. Yeah, that looks great.
Okay, great.
Um, awesome.
Okay.
So do we want to just cover, like, do you want to just say who you are and what you do and
Okay.
what we've been doing together? Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm Peter Pappas. I am the owner of Blade and Blue, which is an online men's clothing shop. My business was built on word of mouth. Um, and I found that the fastest way to spread that word of mouth was through social media and through digital advertising. Um, I was connected to UFO about 2 years ago. The person who was helping me with digital marketing resigned. He was moving to Norway, and it left me sort of stranded and helpless. And I had to act quickly. But I also wanted to be thorough with the investigation into who was going to help me move things forward. Every day, my inbox is full of digital ad companies. So I had plenty of options to choose from. A friend of mine said that if I connected with UFO, that I'd be working with the best. So how could I not investigate that further? What I found through pretty extensive interviewing was there was a very, very distinct difference between service that I thought that UFO could provide versus other companies. And a lot of it has to do with a personal touch. I felt like with the other companies, I was simply one additional company who was in their rotation. They would slot me in. They have a system of working, and my needs were almost feeling secondary to fitting into how they do things. That did not sit well with me at all. I need to be very nimble. I need to be very reactive to my customers' needs. I
Mhm.
felt that UFO could custom a strategy for me and my own specific needs, marrying my needs with what they do best. And that is what I have found over the last few years.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh my God. I was like tearing up while you were talking about that. That's so great. I mean, that is like, I mean, yeah, to keep things casual and not scripted at all. That's like one of the things that we try to do the most. I mean, we speak in terms of our clients' business as if it were our own, and we try to imagine how we would feel if we were running that business and what would we do. And we try to just run our business that way so that there's more ownership and you don't just become like another name on our list of clients. So that is so nice to hear. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I absolutely feel that way. And I think too, like, you need support. And sometimes I feel like I am like left in outer space. You know me, I don't know anything about digital marketing. I know Facebook and I know Instagram, but the nuance is way above my head. I wouldn't have been able to take things further. It would have been more of the same, not reaching new people, not being strategic. Um, and I think that's what has made the difference in pushing things forward for my brand. So I really do appreciate the personal touch. What are the new things that we could do? What are the things that I have no idea about that could be employed? And I think there's many things that we've done so far. I mean, we have targeted new segments. We have found new customers. We have remarketed to people that have bought certain clusters of products that we thought they might be interested in this next thing. I mean, all of these things has just added. I mean, you guys put the birthday app on the site. That's
Yeah.
driven business. You guys completely overhauled the abandoned cart function on the site. Before, do you remember when we first started? I had to
Yeah.
write every customer a personal email
How could I
asking if they
forget?
wanted to complete the cart. I mean, I would have to do this at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was driving
Oh
me
my
crazy.
God.
And you guys just came in and just swept it out from my responsibilities. And God, it just opens up time where I can focus on what I really need to do, not only to drive business forward, but I can now focus on the things that make me happy about my job. Like, I got into this business because I have a love for designing products, for bringing ideas to life. When I am sitting there crafting abandoned cart emails, I'm pulled away from that and I lose the joy in what I was doing. And that was a major help. That one in particular stands out.
Yeah. Oh
It
my
was
God.
just
I can't imagine if you were still doing that today.
oh
I did
my God.
forget about that.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. But that also speaks to how you help me with things that are beyond just digital marketing and digital ads. You've helped me with, I mean, let's be honest, you're the help desk of bladeandblue.com. You're a text message away, you're an email away. And I know that, I mean, every time I send a text, you send one back saying, got it. And if you can't work on it right now, that's great. But you acknowledge that the text came in, and I trust that you're going to help me get this thing done. I think the trust is huge. I did feel like with some of those other companies, I mean, I just felt like it would be like a little voice shouting in this like empty cave, like echoing and no one hearing me. And I felt that way in the interview process, because I kept trying to interject certain unique qualities about my business. I just felt like none of that was being considered. And I just needed help beyond just, we'll play some ads for you. I mean, thanks, but
Great.
you guys
Right.
have given
Yeah.
me more comprehensive assistance, which, like I said, it's just taken a lot of the burden off of my back. I think one of the really important things to talk about is, I mean, 2020, right? And well, actually, should we just back up and talk about when we first started? I was
Yeah.
in a panic. I had the person that helped me with digital ads and all the marketing had moved on to Norway, and I was stranded, and the business had been growing fast, but I was really scared. I just thought, oh my God, let's stabilize things first before we move forward. Like, I just wanted to make sure that I could at least land back on the ground. Now, think about it from my point of view. This is my business that I basically spent my last 10 years of my life building and giving everything to. And I was scared. I was really scared. And you guys came in and you recognized that I was scared. You made me feel comfortable, even when I was really uncomfortable. You made me feel comfortable with what we were doing, and we did stabilize things. We had a good fourth quarter that year, and then we took the next 6 months or so to get things rock solid. And then we started talking about, okay, we're halfway through 2019. What's 2020 going to look like? What could our budgets look like? Do you want to start growing the business again? And that, again, is how you guys come into the strategy piece of things. It's not just, here's my budget for the month, play some ads. It's collaborating and connecting, because like you said, you guys do treat it like it's your business. So you're excited when I tell you, oh, I've got new categories coming. Like, I can feel your excitement. And then you want to start rallying behind these new ideas that I have, which, I love. And it's encouraging for me as well. But we should really dial back here and talk about 2020. So we were
Oh my
excited.
gosh.
2020 was going to be the year of growth. Finally, we stabilized. We got our trust level really baked. We were great. 2020, and it started off with a bang, right? Like, January was great, February was great, and March was phenomenal. And then COVID came, and everything just went, oh, and there I am again, back to feeling panicked, back to feeling nervous. You never come from that angle. You might be concerned, but you have a good poker face, let's say that. And I need that. I'm a creative person, I'm a sensitive person. I need some grounding sometimes, and you definitely serve that purpose. But let's talk about what happened. So everything comes crashing down on March 17th, I think. I mean, I just can't forget it. Everything
It
comes
just
crashing down.
stopped. It just was
I
like
mean, oh my
we hit a
God.
wall.
Yeah, we were up, I think, 20% to the previous year for the whole time period, January through that March 17th date. So I was seeing 20% growth. That's awesome. It was beyond what I thought we would get. I thought 5 to 10%, I'd be thrilled. And here we are, 20% for a sustained period of time. And if you remember, we did that without having huge sale events, which we had relied on so heavily in the past.
And we kept our ad spend the same, right?
Exactly. So we focused on getting better margins, and the marketing has helped bring people to the site who don't want the inexpensive thing that's on sale. They want the new, fresh ideas, which is great. So March 17th happens and everything comes crashing down. You guys put on a brave face. You help me get through the initial panic. And then masks happen. And
Crazy.
it saved my life. And, this was when it felt like, whose company is this? Is this my company or is this UFO's company? Because you guys came in and you were going to save my business, whether or not I wanted to or not, because there were times I wanted to give up. Look, you're crying and I'm crying too. I
I'm
know.
crying.
I
I
know.
can't help
It's
it.
good. But if you remember, I mean, I didn't know what to do. We made masks. We thought, "Ugh, let's throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. Right now, we'll take anything to help save this business." And I remember waking up to a text message from you being like, "Oh my God." And
Yep.
it was sort of like the jolt that we needed. So that's
Yeah.
great. So the idea happens. We start small. But then what happened afterwards was you allowed me to focus on one thing and one thing only: making those masks and getting them to customers. So maybe two things. I didn't have to worry about anything else. It was definitely the most difficult thing I've lived through as a business owner, was not only managing what happened when COVID hit, but then when you find the savior, just because it's there doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, you have to do the work behind it. So, there was a lot to be done. And that's when I felt like you guys came in and took over. Like, you own this business. You cared about saving it as much as I did. And I mean, the phone call that we had, going over pages of options. You guys gave me basically, here are all these options that we think we could do to propel this forward. And let's be honest, look at what happened. We
Yeah.
we did in 1 month what I think we used to do in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. That's so
And
awesome. Oh my gosh.
it was crazy. And
Mhm.
all of those people, and then when you really think about it, think about what's happened since then. The business has continued to be on fire. And that's because you continued to get the customers to the site who cared about the product, who were the right customers, who are now coming back and seeing the new things that are coming. So they came for one thing and now they're staying and they're buying again. And it's a little snowball that keeps on building. So, that mask situation definitely, to me, epitomizes what you do for me, which is you help me not only mentally and psychologically, because that's a component in having a business. You get excited, you get scared, you definitely help me get stabilized and grounded. But then you came in and you ran with it. And the results were incredible. I mean, I'm in a better position now than I've ever been, probably in my entire life.
Oh
In
my
my life.
God. I'm like, this is so
Yeah.
amazing. I'm
So
fine.
if I never said thank you, which I'm sure I did, but if I
God,
never
we
said
weren't,
thank you,
not that we weren't trying to do it this, but oh God, I feel like we should
oh my God, yeah,
maybe
it
do
was.
this like at least once a year to like, oh my
So
God.
I
Peter,
hope.
I love you.
Um,
Oh,
let's see what else I have written down here. So the results.
jeez. Oh, this is
Um,
awesome.
since I have I literally can read the email that I wrote to Deborah when she reached out to me earlier this
Oh
week.
my gosh. Yeah.
Um, so what would I tell somebody who is interested in having somebody help them with their digital marketing? Well, my friend Deborah reached out to me just this week, right? She has a much bigger company than I do, and she is in need of almost starting fresh. And she sent me a note saying, "Hey, do you know anyone who could help me?" And I'm just going to read you what I wrote to them because it pretty much says it all. Here's what I wrote to Deborah, verbatim. "Hey, I know it's scary, but I have the perfect company for you. They've been with me for just over 2 years, and I will tell you that they will work with you, and it won't feel like some soulless company that you've simply hired to place ads and who will just slot you into their rotation. They will take over and help you in any way that you need. I mean, that pretty much says it all. I mean, there are so
Oh
many
gosh,
things we've
Peter.
done. There are so many things that we've done that
Yeah.
they just never would have happened. They never would have happened. You know, it's those other companies that I talked to. I mean, I talked to so many. There are a lot. I mean, every day, I told you, every day there's like 3 in my inbox at least. And then the phone never stops ringing with options with people saying about digital marketing and all this kind of stuff. It's the same thing. I mean, I just felt like, oh, here we go again. Who wants to feel that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, there was a very big difference. And I think it's really the human element of it. You know,
Mhm.
it's nice to feel like there's a real person on the other end who cares, who will answer my text message when it's 11:30 at night. Even
We
though I
might
don't
cut that
check it.
part just so people don't think
Yeah,
we're going to do
don't
that
do
for
it. Yeah.
everybody.
So, yeah, anyway, so
Just kidding.
that's that. Okay.
Oh my God, Peter.
Was that
That is,
good?
let me
I think it
just
was good.
say
I mean, I think we
that was,
tried.
no, I mean, we both cried, so it's perfect. I just want to say, because I really don't do well with all the attention on me, although that felt amazing to hear you say that, just because we don't usually talk this way to each other. We're, you know, focused on business or whatever else we want to talk about. But none of this would be possible without you, obviously, but not just the fact that you have this company, but and that you started it and have grown it the way that you have, and your design eye and all of that, all of the hard stuff, but your personality and what your openness to working with us is so key through all of this. Just getting more and more out of what we're doing. I mean, I think coming from that same spirit of just wanting to keep going and having that passion is just, it's so
Yep.
much more fulfilling. So as
And
you were talking, and the whole time I was just
things
like,
got
yeah,
better when I let go. Like I
yeah,
had a hard time letting go in the beginning. I was, you know, this was my baby. Things got better once I just let go. I don't remember what the trigger was that just said, Peter, let go. I don't remember what it was. I think maybe we had a heart to heart at some point,
yeah, I think
and
I remember what it was.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was like, okay, but again, that's communication. Like I don't know that until you tell me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to be who I am, and then if you don't tell me what I need to do to make things better, I won't do it. So, you
Hmm.
know, I appreciate the hard conversation. You know, they're not easy, they're not fun, um, but we got through it, and
Yeah.
it was an unlock. You know, it was an
Yeah.
unlock. It just needed to be direct with me and just tell me the deal, and okay, got it. You know, so yeah, I'm happy to let go. And like, look, and
I
I've learned that lesson with Olivia. It's like I just be
yeah.
like, hey girl, here's some stuff. Can you please do it for me? She does it. I don't sit here and triple check everything she does. I like spot check here and there.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, it's just like it's just a relief. I mean, yesterday I kind of had the day off. You know, like it
Good. You
was gorgeous
deserve
here
that.
yesterday. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I worked tonight to do the mailer, which is no
Yeah.
big deal. But like, I made that choice. Like, I
Mhm.
had the choice to either have the day off and work at night or work all day. Like, I never had that choice before. I was working all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That makes me
huge.
so happy. All of that made me so happy. I'm
Yeah.
just grateful for you. And I have to, you know, I just have to say that in return for all of those kind words. We as a company are grateful for you. Me personally, I'm grateful for you. I just I just love working with you, and I'm just so thankful that we found each other.
Me too.